Hey everyone, Big Pauly back with a brand new update on my Mounjaro journey. Yes, week 2. Yes, gonna jab myself in a little bit. But how has week 2 been? It's been good. I have had a few side effects still. Not too bad, but I think it's probably just still getting used to the body. But anyway, let me put a lovely little picture up here for you, and we'll talk a little bit about it. I'll have my steak medium to well. Yeah. And hold the peppercorn sauce. I don't like it. Okay, so the last week I've been doing all the usual stuff. Drinking Niagara Falls every day. Yeah, keeping between 2 to 3 litres of water. Trying to stay at 3. But also with other fluids as well, like, you know, teas and coffees and juices and things like that. Not that I'm having any sugared juices, so that's a good thing. Food-wise has been good. I've been making food still here in the kitchen. Oh, down there in the kitchen. We've been out twice for a meal. Yesterday we went to the Duke of York in Dover, which is a brewer's fair, and I had an 8-ounce sirloin steak with side salad, which was really nice, because it comes with chips and onion rings, and I just ditched those. So the sirloin steak came with a grilled tomato. What else did it come with? It came with something else, I can't quite remember. Mushrooms, it might have been, button mushrooms, sliced mushrooms, I think, and also a side salad. And yeah, that was really nice. That filled me right up. And today we went to Toby Carvery for our traditional weekly roast, as I'm working the next 2 days, so we won't get a roast on Sunday. And I just had turkey. I didn't have beef because I know you get a lot of fat on the beef there. I just had turkey. I had 2 potatoes, a little bit of mashed potato, 2 helpings of, or 2 spoonfuls of peas, 2 spoonfuls of carrots, and what else was there? A little bit of cabbage, and a small, really small, probably one of the smallest Yorkshire puds ever. So that was pretty good, yeah, and that really did fill me up. I only just managed to get through eating the last spoonful of peas. And back in the day, we're talking about years ago now, when I used to go there with Mama Bowman and Papa Bowman, I used to eat 3 platesfuls. I used to go up twice on top of the current plate. I just don't know where I could store it now. Yeah, so that's really good. And I'm going for the healthier options as well. I'm leaving out the stuffing because that's got a lot of fat in it and everything. And I'm also leaving out things like the mac and cheese. I'm just aiming primarily for like turkey and the vegetables, as many vegetables as I can, without exploding. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I found my routine with Toby Carvery now. I'll probably explore whatever else there is at Brewers Fair, but the 8-ounce steak was really nice. It gave me like 54 grams of protein, which was brilliant. So yeah, that was a good day. Staying away from fizzy drinks, so I actually haven't had a fizzy drink for over 2 weeks now. I don't really miss it. I don't really miss Diet Coke. You know, I'd be like probably 4 or 5 cans of Diet Coke a day. Don't really miss it. It's all about the water. It's all about the water now. Yeah, the water. I have tea. I have usually one cup of tea, 1 or maybe 2 cups of tea a day, and that is Yorkshire tea with a bit of skim milk. And if I go to Costa Coffee just for my daily coffee, it's not really a daily coffee anymore. I used to have a large decaf latte with semi-skim milk. And I just have a medium decaf latte with soya milk now. I actually prefer the soya milk. I think it tastes better. It gives it that kind of like little spin on it. Yeah, so food-wise, it's been really good this week. As for side effects, the only real side effects, again, I've had a very mild headache. Didn't stay long, you know, it didn't stay around for too long. Maybe half a day, but I had some paracetamol. Had a few stomach cramps later in the week. The main problem, I felt tired and like I had no energy for like a day. And then the next day, I just went straight out on a walk. I had so much energy the next day, I went straight out on a walk. So I kind of come in bursts. As for the other movements down there, I haven't really had any bad constipation because I've been sticking to like the 30 grams of fibre a day, near or sometimes over 30 grams, you know, like 32 grams of fibre. I have regularly been going. I think there was only one day when I didn't go last week. But I don't know if it's me or if it's because of the food, but I've noticed a different colour than the usual brown. It's kind of like a dark green slate grey, so I don't know what that is. I did submit a urine and a stool sample, a poo sample, a couple of weeks ago. Unfortunately, they gave me the wrong pot for the poo sample, so it went to the wrong department. So I then got a phone call. It had a different colour lid on it. They put the wrong coloured lid on it. It was a fit test, fecal immunisation test, I think it's called. Yeah, so they sent another one for me, so I did another one, and then I had a phone call from the doctor saying that they found raised. It's slightly raised. It's never been raised before. You know, since I've started on Mounjaro, it's always been perfectly fine. So now there's a raised thing. So whether that's micro things of blood. So they just want to have an investigation into that. So I've got to go to the hospital, possibly for an exam in 2 weeks, possibly a colonoscopy, which I'm not looking forward to. But it's better to be safe than sorry. Yeah, so the first day that I'm going to be there is just kind of like consultation and maybe a few tests, but nothing invasive. Yeah, there's going to be no anal probes on that day. Yeah, so keep an eye on that. I said to him, could it be that maybe it's constipation, that I'm straining too much? Or something to do with how my diet has changed? I don't know. I did have blood once before, and I put that down to piles or hemorrhoids, but that was a little while ago, and that's kind of like, that was perfectly fine. But the fit tests that I've had since have been perfectly fine. They've been negative for the last couple of years. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated on that. I've just had a bit of stomach issues, a bit of rumbling, and not nausea, maybe a little bit of nausea and lightheaded. So I think maybe it could be to do with the food, because it suppresses your appetite. And there's certain times where if you don't go and have any food or even any snacks for a little while, you start to feel it. Yeah, so I'll keep you updated on that. But what everybody's here for is, what have I lost this week? I mean, the first week I lost 10 pounds, which was fantastic. I don't know if I've lost that this week, although I do feel that my stomach is flatter, and I've actually changed one of the belt holes to one of the tighter ones that I haven't used in over a year. So whether or not I actually lose anything on the scales, it's certainly showing, it's certainly feeling with measurements, because I can definitely tell that the shirt is a bit looser, and especially the trousers are feeling a bit baggier, and that's only from 1 week, so it's probably all the crap that's being cut out. But anyway, let's get the scales out, let's jump on there and let's have a look, see what I've lost this week. Okay, so 27 stone and 13. That is a loss of £1. Right, £1. Okay, it's a loss. It's a loss. I'm happy with that. Normally it would have been a gain in any other time. I thought it might be something like £3 or £4, considering I've been really good and sticking with my calories. I've been sticking to about 2,000 calories. The TDEE calculator, where it calculates your weight and your sedentary and everything like that, says that I should have about 3,500 calories a day, but knock 500 off that, so that I'm in deficit. But that would be 2,000. That would be about 2,700. So I've been keeping it around about 2,000, because I think 2,700 is a bit ridiculous. Yeah, so we'll see what happens in the next week. I'm still sticking with the, the healthy stuff, trying to keep the sugars down as much as I can. The carbs is a little bit tricky, because my carbs always seem to go up to about 130 to 150. A couple of days last week, they went up to close to 200. But that's probably because I had some toast with scrambled egg. And I've also had a few of those bagel thins as well. But as I say, the fibre has stayed around about 30 grams. Protein, I'm trying to keep the protein as high as possible. They say 100 grams, but I've been keeping my protein between 100 and 150. So I'm happy with that. Protein, fibre and water are the three most important things on Mounjaro. So as long as I keep those, in sight, then I'm happy with whatever else comes around. And I might try to just decrease the carbohydrates a little bit. When it comes to fats is usually coming out at about 30 grams a day, and saturated fat about 5 grams a day. You can imagine what it used to be. Probably it was about 200 grams a day, with all the fish and chips and the Chinese and stuff like that. I'm still getting a dry mouth though. That doesn't go away. Some days are better than the others, but it's just a matter of drinking water. Yeah. So there we go. So yeah, £1 loss. I know some people would say, well, you can do that normally, because I have actually lost £1 or £2 a week on my own without Mounjaro before, when I was on Weight Watchers. But the thing is, it's helping with the food noise. It's helping me steer clear of going to eat a chocolate bar. Oh, let's have a few digestive biscuits. Let's have that Scotch egg or a pork pie, which I was constantly doing a couple of months ago. So yes, I could probably lose £1 or two on my own on Weight Watchers without Mounjaro, but it's helping keeping me focused on the healthy foods and not telling me to eat for the sake of it. And I'm feeling fuller. Yeah, so there we go. So that's a little update for this week. So I'm going to jab myself now. I've already ordered my next pen, and that is, I'm sticking with the 2.5 for the next 4 weeks. They do say that when you go up to 5 and then 7.5, you do start getting more side effects. And I don't particularly want to have lots of diarrhea and puking, and some people have reported having shivers and things like that. So I'm sticking with the 2.5. We'll see how it goes for the next 2 weeks. Because, I mean, £1 this week. Who knows? It might be £3 next week. or it might stay the same. I don't think I'll put anything on, you know, being in a deficit and that. But we'll see how it goes, and then I'll weigh in again next week, this time next week, and we'll talk a little bit about how the week's been. Yeah, so it's all positive. It's £11. Even though it was only £1 this week, and most of week 1 was water and stuff like that, it's £11, which I never would have lost. So only another £3, and that's a stone. So I can pretty much, hopefully, easily do a stone in a month. So that would be good. And I'm glad I'm down in the 27s, because I was that far away from the 29 stones. And now I'm down into the 27s. So it's all going the right way. I'm happy with that. Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like it by giving it some thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, comment and share. And I'll see you on the next video in a week for the next weigh-in. Bye-bye.